Everybody wants this one thing. They may not use the words that I'm going to use, but everybody wants to be a part of a strong social unit where there is love, care, affection, devotion, and grace for them to move into the fullness of their possibility. Essentially, everybody wants a strong family. Like I said, they may not use those words, but everybody's looking for that unit of love. In this video, I'll be sharing with you 5 ways to build a strong family. If you're single, hoping to get married, if you're married, hoping to start a family, raise children, if you are disconnected from your family and you're like, oh, every time you see a nice picture on social media, this is going to help you. And even if you've had bad family experiences, what I'm going to be sharing with you will go a long way in helping you have perspective so that you can regain the right stance and posture concerning families and give yourself a better chance of building one or being a part of a strong one. I'll be back. At the beginning of every year, we have amazing goals that we intend to accomplish in our lives. For some of us, it's winning a soul every week. For others, it's giving tens of millions of naira towards a favorite charity or ministry or church. But for every true believer, one of the things that we always want to do every year is to grow deeper in our relationship with God. We want to read more of the Bible, we want to pray more consistently, we want to fast more sincerely, and we want to get to know God more. But somewhere along the line, life happens. There are bills to pay, there are targets to meet, there are relationships to build. And before we know it, we stop reading the Bible as often as we used to. We stop spending time with God, we get distracted and caught up. If you're in that place right now, I'm not condemning you and I don't want you to be discouraged. I've got an amazing resource for you. This is why I'm happy to present to you copies of my brand new book called Refresh. In this amazing book, you're going to learn how to rediscover and how to relish and enjoy the pleasure of God's presence. It's a 21-day devotional that has lots of powerful content. It has premium material. In this, you will learn the basics of prayer, of waiting on God, of intercession, of reading the Bible, of meditating consistently, so that the Word of God is not like something you're reading from a textbook, but it really transforms your life. And one of the things I really love about it, which many other people who've read the book love about it, is that you have places for you to write out what you're going to do with what you've learned. There are also Bible passages that will help you reinforce all the core concepts in the pages of this book. So I wanted to place your order right now. It's going to change your life forever. It's time for you to refresh your walk with God and to grow deeper in the things of the Spirit. Refresh. Welcome back. My name is Damilola Oluwatoyinbo. I'm the pastor of Kings, and in this video, I'm sharing with you 5 ways or 5 things you can do to build a strong family. By a strong family, I'm talking about a strong, healthy family. I'm not talking about families where everybody's face is strong and they're hard and difficult and judgmental and critical and cynical and bitter. And I'm talking about a supportive social circle that consists of you, a parent or a child, a sibling, and you are building together. Now, for us to really understand this, we have to go back to the very first family that we know about, Adam and Eve, and then they gave birth to Cain and Abel. Interestingly, that first family fell apart, but it started gradually. Cain eventually kills Abel, canned Abel. There was no sugar in it, so it wasn't sugar cane, right? But eventually killed Abel. Now, if Cain was sugar and killed Abel, would that have been that Abel died of diabetes as in sugar cane? I mean, no disrespect, I'm just joking, I beg, please, no vex. But the point is, the family became dysfunctional, but it started with cracks. So when a family disintegrates or breaks up, it's typically because there are cracks somewhere in the mix. How can you guard against that? The first thing I want to realize to understand what family really is about. I did a research recently and it occurred to me that the word family, English word family, actually stems from the Latin word famulus. And the word famulus is basically a household of servants. Can you believe that? You'd have thought a household of love or something, but it's a household of servants. So when you think about a family, the picture there is a group of people who love each other, but they are also serving one another. It means that the moment you have people in a family who are self-serving, instead of those who are serving other members of the family, there will be cracks in that family and things will fall apart. The first family began to have cracks when the woman, Eve, felt, oh, I can do better. I can be like God. I can be as wise as God. Not knowing that she already had that status by divine design, where she was made in the image and likeness of God. But because she was sold a lie that you can do better, right? So what happens to families is that a husband feels, oh, I can have other women better than my wife. Or the wife feels, oh, I have access to finer men, richer men, bigger men, more muscular men than my husband. Or the children feel, my parents are not good enough, they don't know what they're doing. My friend's parents, oh, see the kind of car they drive, or the kind of school they send their children to, or the kind of toys they can afford. The moment you become self-serving in the family, you are becoming a saboteur in the family. And when you are a saboteur, you are very close to leading the family into an abattoir where things are going to be slaughtered. So you want to think about what family is. Family is essentially a social unit consisting of different members of the household. In the ideal setting, it is husband, wife, and children. But we understand that different things happen and people end up being single, or, you know, the parents may even pass on, and then you have another caregiver. But it's a social unit. And think about it. I'm here to be loved, but I'm also here to serve. So it's not just love me, love me, love me, love me, love me, love me, or serve me, serve me, serve me, serve me. It is both of them. I love and I serve, and I expect to be served from a premise of love. It may seem simplistic, but the absence of this balance is going to cause a lot of chaos in that family. The father is going to become drunk or start punching somebody. The mother is going to become manipulative or expose herself to strange relationships. The children are going to become envious or lustful or competitive. I have 4 more points to share with you, but before then, pay attention to this announcement.
If you're struggling with any kind of compulsive behavior, addictions, limitations, financial struggles, emotional pains, trauma, or maybe you just need that fresh zest, that push to drive you further in the things of God, you don't want to miss that. I'm excited to announce that I'll be live in London in the month of June. The 8th of June is going to be a special Freedom Tour episode where there will be conversations, teachings to help you walk in the fullness of God's agenda for your life. It's a Saturday, and on Sunday, the 9th of June, a special gathering of kings, where our kings people from across London and across the UK will be joining us live to have a beautiful time of teaching, impartation, conversation, praise and worship that will stir you up to do greater things with God. I'm looking forward to seeing you. Ensure you register your interest right now and share this video with somebody in your world that you care about. London, get ready, because I'm bringing a word that will change your life. See you there.
I will not be shaken.
All right, so it's the Freedom Tour. I want to be a part of it. Please join me live. I'm coming to a city close to you. I want to be there. Come with your friends, your family, your loved ones. And if you want to partner with me in kind and cash and prayers, in volunteering and material, look through the link on this video, fill in your details, and let's do great things together. The second thing you must be able to do is that you must take responsibility for the love quotient of that family. Now, what most people like to do is, if you do this, then I will do this. So they approach relationships from a conditional perspective, and that hardly works, because everybody feels entitled, and eventually when your entitlements or your feelings of entitlement are not gratified, you move from being entitled to being embattled, which means that you begin to see life as a combat. You begin to see relationships as a competition, as a contest. You want to outdo that person. That's what happened between Cain and Abel. Cain wanted to outdo Abel because he saw that Abel's sacrifice was accepted by God, and he said, no, how can you be doing better than me? How can you be driving a bigger car? There are families today where the envy quotient is so high and everywhere is heavy and gloomy, you can almost slice the tension in the air with a knife. There are families today where people are suspicious of each other, where the spouses of siblings don't speak, they don't talk. There are families today where there is so much drama, chaos, competition, contention, and criticism. You want to take responsibility, not for the battles, not for the bitterness, but for the love quotient in that place. Now, you might be a dramatic person, tone it down. Your voice might be very loud, you shout at everybody. Learn to be quiet. You might be very selfish, and maybe you're very sensitive. Work on yourself, because it starts with you. Number 3, you want to have a family vision. Now, this may also sound but see, it's because people don't do the simple things that things eventually become complicated. I didn't say the easy things, I said the simple things. Now, do you realize that most people don't have a family vision? And what does the Bible say? Where there is no vision, the people perish. So many families have perished, not because there's no money, not because there's no beauty, not because there's no intelligence, not because there are no schools, not because there are no cars, not because there are no houses, but because in spite of all those things, houses and cars and equipment, many people don't have a vision. And so what happens even in some rich families is the moment the breadwinner dies, the patriarch of the house passes on, then all the wickedness in the hearts of the children will begin to bubble up. Write a family vision. If you're a man, I want to join us at Man Up, because at Man Up, one of the things I share is how people can craft a family vision that will last for generations, can be refined, iterated over time, but to last for generations. So get a family vision. It is extremely intentional. Number 4. You want to be able to play together. Many families don't play together. They just pay bills. They just analyze things. They just attend social events, but they don't have like family time. One of the things I'm so grateful to God for is that my children are so in on the love that my wife and I have shared for 10 years plus now. And they're even the ones pushing. They say, now daddy and mommy, it's time for family time. Like they just say randomly. So let's play this game. Who am I? Or let's play this game or solve this riddle. Family time. Do you watch things together? Do you eat together? Do you play together? Do you have fun together? Do you run around the house together? Do you do ridiculous things together? These things may seem simple, but say there are families where people don't hug each other. I hug my children, I carry them, I tickle them, I sometimes throw them in the air. Well, I used to do that a lot more when they were more carryable, more portable, right? But you want to be able to invest in those seemingly light things, because those are the things that become the glue that will cause you to stick together on the long haul. So play together, have fun together, go out together, celebrate key events like birthdays, like somebody's award ceremony, somebody won an award, or somebody maybe didn't do so well in school. It's also a good time to bond and maybe cry together and hug together and do all the amazing things together. I have one more point and a bonus point, but before then, watch this video. I may not know much about you, but I know one thing about you. You are struggling with something. You have struggled with something, or you will struggle with something. It could be drugs, alcohol, pornography, gambling, low self-esteem, insecurity, spiritual backwardness, spiritual stagnation, inferiority, envy, lust, jealousy, or some other vice. As human beings, as we navigate through life, different oppositions and hurdles stand in our way, and many times we feel too ashamed or too afraid to seek help, or sometimes we're too tired because we don't believe that there is a way out. Good news is there is always a way out for somebody who receives light. My name is Damilola Oluwatoyinbo, the pastor of Kings. Having journeyed through life for 4 decades plus now, I've seen a multiplicity of struggles, not only in my life, but in the lives of those that I've mentored, coached, trained, and pastored. And now I'm super excited to bring the message of freedom to the nations of the world. So whether you're in Uganda, Kenya, South Africa, Ghana, Nigeria, Canada, United States of America, United Kingdom, I will be coming to you or somewhere around you over the next couple of months as I bring a message around freedom, that you can be free by the wisdom, the grace, and the power of God. Join me on the Freedom Tour. Tell somebody about this and look forward to connecting with you live at one of my events. It's time for you to be free. All right, number 5. This is very important. Can you do your best to give to your children what your parents didn't give you? Now, sometimes your parents did their best based on what they had, with what they knew, but their knowledge was limited or partial, or maybe even corrupted by culture, or tainted by circumstances, or filed by bitterness, or whatever they went through. But there are certain things they did for you that were right, but there are other things that had gaps and limitations. Maybe they never took you there to an amusement park or a zoo, never took you traveling or played a game, never took you to the cinemas. Maybe they never laid hands on you and prayed for you. Maybe they never carried you or hugged you. Give your children what you did not get from your parents. I've met many people that have said to me, I've never hugged my dad in my life. I'm like, what? I used to hug my dad every time I saw him after a long time, right? Or every time he got back, he went out and came back to the house, right? And I do that to my children now, right? What are the things that you did not have? Even if you had them, still do them. But what about the things you did not have that you can afford right now? Now, many of these things have nothing to do with money. They just have to do with intention, heart, desire, and taking responsibility for it. Spoken a lot today. Now let me give you one more. It's called the bonus point. Are you ready for the bonus? Say the bonus point. Before I say that, like this video, share this video, comment on this video. Let me know what is blessing you, ministering to your heart, touching your heart, what you're going to use on the long haul. Let me know. Which of the points? Bonus point is this, and this is very powerful. It's actually a core point. Pray for your family. Pray for your family. It's important. Many people don't pray for their family. In fact, let me say, pray for and with your family. Don't pray against your family. The people that pray against their family, now, except the person is like a certified witch or a bona fide wizard or somebody who's diabolic and occultic, and you're saying, Lord, dismantle the influences of Satan in the lives of this person, or the grip of their manipulation or their witchcraft projection. You can pray those prayers. But I'm talking about, don't pray soulish prayers like, let my brother die, let his wife not have children, let that one. Because when you're doing that, the Bible says the bitter water and fresh water do not come from the same source. The weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through God to the pulling down of strongholds, casting down imaginations, destroying every high thing that exalts itself against knowledge of Christ, and being ready to punish all disobedience when your obedience is complete. So you wrestle against spiritual forces. You take authority over strange spirits. But concerning your family, you intercede. You pray for them. Lord, let them know you. Open up their hearts to Jesus. Let the Holy Spirit prevail upon their will. Let the things they're working on prosper. If they're on the wrong track, Lord, take them away from the wrong track and plant them on the right track. If they're feeling overwhelmed, Father, cover them with your grace and your glory. If there are things wrong in their lives, heal their bodies. You see what I'm saying? That is very important. I trust that you've gotten something out of this. Don't keep it to yourself. Send it to somebody in your life who one day wants to have a family, or who's in a family, or who's struggling with their families, or having a difficult time navigating their relationships. Send somebody. It's going to really help somebody. And as you do that, God will keep pouring upon you grace, revelation, insight, favor, opportunities, and so much more. My name is Damilola Oluwatoyinbo. I'm the pastor of Kings, and until the next video, keep on thriving in the things of God.